the father and son podcast where we talk about cult classics, in this case an adventure movie, westerns and various other stuff. Like I say, today we've got our first adventure movie, The Secret of the Incas, and in today's episode we'll be talking about this week's movie, playing a couple of little games like we always do, and then talking about our double feature recommendations. So if you'd like to tell everyone a little bit about the synopsis of this one.
I will. In fact, you're right, jungle adventure. The film is Secret of the Incas, 1954. So that's getting on for 70 years ago, is it?
Real old one.
The director is a chap called Jerry Hooper. Hooper was a combat photographer in World War II, and he actually holds a Purple Heart. Prior to this, he did a few films, and then from 57 onwards, lots of TV stuff. Main stars of this are Charlton Heston, megastar.
Especially at this point as well.
Yeah. I mean, he looks the part, all the part in this. He plays the character of Harry Steele. Others there are Robert Young, plays Stan Moorhead, Nicole Moray is Eleanor, and Thomas Mitchell is Ed. So basically, the synopsis is fairly straightforward, and it's an early version of this type of movie. So Charlton, or Harry, he's a tour guide, but his real interest is in priceless Inca artefacts, namely the gold starburst. He teams up with Eleanor, an Iron Curtain refugee, and off they go in search of this item, with various little plot twists and sort of little sub-stories as well to keep us entertained. So, interesting story. Remind you of anybody?
Yeah, so it's not sort of a gotcha. I think Spielberg and Lucas are quite openly admitting this is very much a strong inspiration for Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah.
To the point where he looks identical. That's very clearly the outfit.
Yeah.
And even the makeup of the plot is very Raiders of the Lost Ark, isn't it? Obviously, that I think Spielberg and Lucas took the ball and really ran with it and improved on the basis.
Yeah.
But considering how early this is,
I know
it is a great basis.
It is. Well, interestingly, the costume designer for Raiders of the Lost Ark confirmed it was a direct reference. The hat, the jacket, the trousers, the pistol.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know, it's all. It was a direct influence on the indie look. Yeah. Because it was so successful, and he looked like an explorer of the time. And
absolutely. And I actually read that prior to starting the shoot, the production crew and cast of Indiana Jones sat down and actually watched this film.
Yeah, I like the bit with the sun ray, because that's the staff of Ra, sun, because there's the classic thing, they're digging in the wrong place, and they find a stone carved sunburst, and they all think they've got, that's it, it's the wrong one. We'll all go home just empty-handed, and yet he goes in after hours, and puts the reflective, you know, and it's a brilliant idea, and it's classic adventure, and you can see why they took that, because it's magical. Yeah, it is. You know, the light reveals the sun, and then the whole story changes. So, it does. Yeah, genius. But first done by Charlton Heston and the gang. So
quite a long way. Like you said, this is 54. This is one of the older films we've done. Definitely the oldest non-Western we've done.
Yeah, for sure. It looks good, though, doesn't it? It
looks really good. It's in full colour.
Yeah, Technicolor, isn't it?
Technicolor. Yeah. And it is a gorgeous looking film. I mean, if you went in blind and had to date it, you'd probably say it was 10 years newer than it is. Yeah.
And the dialogue and the story themes, it doesn't give I know it's set in a certain time, and the look is fairly timeless for, you know, the place. And I think there's quite an interesting thing about the sort of the Incas. You actually see them in
a very nice location shooting.
Yeah. And you see almost a group of people pre 20th century getting out there and giving them all mobile phones and Nike jackets to wear and stuff. They're actually in their own environment. And I think I read somewhere that there's 500 indigenous extras used in this film. And that's a lot.
That is a lot.
But then when you look at some of the scenes where they're all dancing around,
some of the scenes, even the very, very opening throws. There's an Inca man, I think, like on the mountain before it pans down to the little bus and rail line. And obviously, when they get to the Incas. Inca's little domain, the extras, the dance scenes and stuff are they're really quite impressive.
Yeah, and the singing. Did you pick up on the singing?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, did you? I looked into who that was because I thought this woman's singing is extraordinary, and in fact she was quite a force in her own right. Is it Ema Sumac? I think her name is, and she's astonishing because she's got a 4.5 octave vocal range.
Wow,
which is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
She is Peruvian.
Okay, interesting.
And she has played amongst, obviously she's had records and she's very famous, but she's played at the Hollywood Bowl and the Carnegie Hall, and she's got a star on the Hollywood Boulevard apparently.
Oh, there you go.
She's that famous as a vocalist. Don't know so much as and you could see they did all of a sudden it launched into her songs.
Quite an extensive singing scene.
And I think it was a real at the time I get a feeling that because she was so popular, sort of Carmen Miranda sort of singing figure, that they had to include that.
Yeah, sure.
Because people would probably have gone to hear and see her perform.
Yeah, that's
it's
true.
Sort of a 3-second gig, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so very interesting.
Heston obviously heads it up, like you say, real at this period, a really, really, really big draw.
Oh, yeah.
He apparently didn't love his performance in this.
Did he not?
And I can sort of see I think he's good in it, but it's a sleazier character than Indiana Jones.
Is it the character? Yeah, because he's a little bit underhand, isn't he?
Is.
And he's a little bit sort of dark and a little bit...
Yeah, he really is, especially in the opening throws. He's really quite a sort of nice... Especially for this era.
Yeah.
With the Hays Code and everything sort of tame.
Yeah.
He's really quite nasty.
He's quite a bad
happily
guy.
ripping off all the...
Yeah, the tourists
all the
and
tourists.
everybody. Yeah, you're right. But I suppose that gives it a bit of a gritty edge and the sort of elements of Wages of Fear there, isn't there? Where there's some
absolutely.
real...
The town is very is very Wages of Fear, isn't it?
Yeah, and the bar and some real low-life people there, just there to feed off the tourists, and it's it's a way of life. And I mean, if you don't like it, he goes to the guy in the restaurant, give him the cheap tour, or the $10 tour, and it's kind of like just churning through this. But his real passion, as with Indy, is this artefact.
Yeah.
It consumes him, doesn't it? And he gets the plane, doesn't he?
He gets the plane.
His whole motivation for getting in with Eleanor is to get the plane. Because this guy has got a plane that she knows. Who's after her. Yeah. So, quite mercenary, almost, in his wishes to get there. But a great adventure story. It's proper Saturday morning cinema, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I really liked it.
The story feels, not just the look, the story feels quite modern in the way that it's put together and the pacing.
Film of two halves as well, really,
Very
because you have that again, like Wages of Fear. You have the build-up and the character building and the bar and the 20th century existence.
The first half is very Wages of Fear, not just in the look, but in the way it's put together. And then obviously it goes in its own direction with the Incas.
Yeah.
But you're right; it is very much split, and we don't get any of the archaeology part of it until he's got his plane ride.
Yeah,
and then a bit like in Indiana Jones in.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I think
the first one where they're digging up in Egypt.
Yeah, he turns up and they're already digging up.
Yeah.
And he's introduced to all the all the various faces who all have their little ulterior motives as
like the Nazis
see.
in Indy. Yeah. So they brought it kicking and screaming into the 20th century, World War II. Although, similar sort of era, I'd imagine.
It probably is.
I mean, if it's made in 1954... And
I mean, this could even have been like a contemporary film at at time of release.
Yeah, because in Indiana, the Germans have got all the tanks and there's the Gestapo guy. So that's got to be Second World War in North Africa and all that sort of stuff.
Absolutely,
isn't it? So, unless it's just prior to that, maybe.
It's definitely close.
It's
definitely close.
It's starting to happen, isn't it? But an interesting comparison again that they've picked a similar sort of time to pitch it into. But
it's a real sort of fascinating quirk of it is of this very specific movie, which there's nothing really like this until Indiana Jones recreates it.
No.
And
that's true,
after the release of Indiana Jones, there was this whole cottage industry of Indiana Jones rip-offs, right, into the 80s.
Well, indeed.
But Indiana Jones in itself was just a recreation of this.
And it's boy's own adventure, isn't it? You'd be surprised. I mean, it'd be interesting when we do our comparison to see what we've come up with, because you can't help but go into things like Indiana Jones 1, 2, and 3. But in the same vein, there would be when you're actually trying to think of adventure, they're few and far between, and they're all based on the classics, aren't they?
Yeah.
These jungle adventures and Tarzan and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But you're right, when they finally mine out the Indiana Jones scene to huge success.
Yeah.
Everybody realises that they love an adventure story and archaeology and finding. Everybody loves a treasure story.
And there was a new Indiana Jones as recently as 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah,
the franchise lives on.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's timeless, really. You can. They did Young Indiana Jones, didn't they? And so there's lots of different ways.
And it all, like I say, it's no secret between the guys that made Indiana Jones. It all started with Secret of the Incas. Charlton Heston.
Yes, absolutely. Direct reference, costume, story, characters.
Yeah, I mean, side by side, the costume, it is the same costume, isn't it?
Yeah, well, as I say, the
light
lady,
for light. So
she said it's a direct reference to him because he's actually, to be fair, on Heston's jacket, it's like a flyer's jacket, isn't it? He's got his squadron pattern. Well, he has, but it's kind of obscured, so you can't really see who he was connected
and he's got a scarf as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, so I suppose he's gone proper, ex-flyer type guy or whatever. So they just sort of watered it down and made it a little less military, a little bit more adventurous.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, great look, and as you say, it lives on, and the hat continues to float around in various guises on various movies. Yeah, quite literally.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what did you think in a direct, let's say, Heston versus Harrison Ford?
I think Heston was good. I can understand why he perhaps didn't like the character.
For this era when he was sort of the poster boy for Hollywood, as it were, play a character with these morals is quite a interesting choice.
He'd done a lot of biblical stuff as well, hadn't he?
True.
He was playing the most morally correct people on the planet. Moses. He played Moses or the Ten Commandments.
Yeah.
So he's played some pretty pivotal roles. And you look at some of his other roles that he's been in. He's usually, he can be a little bit of a maverick and a little bit of an outsider, but essentially his morals are right and his mission is correct. But in this, he's a bit dark.
But he does win the day, doesn't he? He does concede at the end.
Yes.
And he does the right thing.
And I think it had to be to protect his image, because you can't have him sort of walking off in a sort of Jack Palance totally evil style where he's
just runs off with the sunburst.
That's right. Yeah, you just got to accept that he's just no good.
But he does push that. Well, he does kind of push that bloke off a cliff.
He does actually. That's fair enough. Well, yeah, he does. Yeah, you're quite right. But then, did he deserve it? I don't know.
Yeah, he's a strange character. He sort of turns up towards the end.
Yeah, there's a few weird people in this film as well. I mean, Eleanor's character was quite unusual because she was like a cold femme fatale.
That's right.
And she obviously got her own agenda.
I think it's probably at this point again trying to harness the mystery of the Iron Curtain. Yeah, no one really knows what goes on.
Almost a noir-esque character, I thought, quite. Because I was thinking of sort of bogey movies and things like that. When you've got sort of the dark sort of.
It is, it's very much so, and the way that the guy, I forget his name, the guy who turns up in the plane.
Yes.
The way he sort of appears to come and bring her back behind the Iron Curtain. And it's all very noir.
Yeah, it is, and of the time. And their relationship is one of those classic up and downs, a bit like African Queen, isn't it? Yeah. Where he's the rough diamond and she kind of likes him, really, because he's a little bit of a rogue. And then they have to spend some time under the stars. And all of those films like Romance in the Stone and Jewel in the Nile.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, I hate you, and then all of a sudden, you're not so bad. And Indiana Jones for that matter.
And and that obviously that's
almost the recipe.
That's like a 40s, 50s thing.
It is, isn't it?
And Indiana Jones resurrected that with with their style again, almost certainly as a reference to this era of movie, if not directly this movie.
You're right. It is a technique and a method used in movies to get the narrative and carry the story along. So it isn't just all adventure.
Absolutely,
there's a love element and a human interest element, and seeing how that develops and plays out. He did a good job, though. I thought he
did a good job as well.
Yes,
I thought it was quite a modern performance, actually.
I thought so, but then he's quite a modern, forward-thinking kind of guy.
And
I think.
And he continued to have success in smaller roles. For another 50 years nearly.
Yeah.
So it was clearly he had the capability, because especially in this 40s, 50s era, there are a lot, and even into the early 60s, there are a lot of actors that into the 70s failed to transition into what cinema had become. Whereas Heston,
he did have an eye on the future, didn't he?
And he kept rolling. You know,
he did
into the 70s and 80s.
He was doing sci-fi as well, you know, and forward-thinking, you know, intelligent sci-fi.
Yeah.
Some of the movies I'm sure we'll reference later on, or well, actually, no, not really in connection with this, are they? Sort of things like Soylent Green and Omega Man.
Yeah, Omega Man, yeah.
You know, they're quite interesting stories. He does tend to be a survivalist as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
You look at Planet of the Apes. He's the last one. And then you got the iconic scene at the end of that where he finds the Statue of Liberty, and then he's reprised in Beneath the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
But he is kind of he plays that role of I'm doing it my way and I'm going to survive, you know. Smoking a cigar on the spaceship, you know.
Yeah, and I think it's an easy success for a studio, isn't it? You put him in as the figurehead of the film. You don't need to spend loads of money on the rest of the cast.
No. He's the magnet, isn't he? And basically, people go to a Charlton Heston movie to see Charlton.
Yeah,
Heston.
it's still
he
very
was
much that
he
era.
was a proper megastar of his day, one of the greats, and guaranteed. You know, you feel guilty if you didn't go to see the new Charlton Heston film because he was so good.
Yeah,
Ben-Hur, you know, you just read him off.
Of course.
I must admit, I put him in the realms of Lancaster and people like that. He's that ilk. He's that generation of superstar.
Well, I'll tell you what. Whilst we're about to reel off movies, let's do it. Let's play.
Oh no!
A little bit of a title tennis.
Title
of course,
tennis.
where we bat.
I think I've given I've shown my hand.
We've just done them all.
I've given you a load of answers.
We bat titles back and forth to those the uninitiated.
Right.
Every week there's someone of note. We do it or try and do it. Obviously, this time we'll do Charlton Heston.
Yes, I'm already starting to think of ones I haven't told you. There are a couple I've got in reserve.
Well, I'll serve with Secret of the Incas as his standard procedure.
Okay. Well, let's go right back then. Let's do 10 Commandments because let's go biblical.
Okay, Planet of the Apes.
Well, Beneath the Planet of the Apes because I think he's in that as I know it's. He's a reprise, isn't he? Because he falls through that time gap. But yeah, he's in that. Sure.
I'll go Omega Man.
Okay, yeah. Soylent Green, because I've said that one.
Ben-Hur. Now we're getting into the territory we've not touched on yet.
I watched this the other day. Airport 75.
Oh, good, yeah. El Cid.
God, blimey. Touch of Evil.
Number one.
Wow. Earthquake.
Oh, that's a good response.
God, is there any more?
I'm trying to think what he did late in his career when he had bit parts.
He did, yeah. I can see him in things, but I keep confusing him with other movies. Mind you, you're up, so you're under pressure. Although I think if you can get one, I think you got me because I can't. Charlton Heston.
What's he been in late career?
There must be something. Was he in anything more modern as a sort? I think was he in? He wasn't in.
Was he in Gladiator?
He might have been, or was he dead by then? Was he in Wayne's World or something like that? One of these modern,
I'm going to go Gladiator, but I'm going to have to fact check it.
Okay, and then check Wayne's World because I think he's played something like famous actor or something. But I might have made that up.
No, he was not in Gladiator, and he was in one that I'm thinking of.
Do a filmography and see if you can find him. Actually, for the benefit of the listeners, perhaps we should give them some extra ones and put them out of their misery.
He was in Wayne's World.
Was he?
So you'd have done me with that anyway.
Oh, blimey. Pulled that one out of the bag. Out of the treasure bag.
But the one so I'll run you through a couple here, just whilst we're on the topic, which we probably could have got. The Greatest Story Ever Told.
Oh, yeah.
Three Musketeers.
Was he in that?
Bowling for Columbine.
That's quite modern.
True Lies.
God, was he in that?
He was in that, which is the one I was thinking of. Was
is he playing cameo roles in these?
In these later ones, yeah.
It's just like that's Charlton Heston. Because like in Wayne's World, he turns up and I think, my guy's Charlton Heston.
Yeah, exactly right.
A bit like the Flash in Ted.
Yeah, the one I was trying to get was Armageddon.
Is he in that?
He's in that.
Bloody hell.
And he's in Tombstone as well.
Oh, well done.
So there are loads, but that's probably our biggest. That's our best run, I reckon.
Yeah. Do you know?
So,
I think he must have been in over
I can tell you how many credits he's got. 194 credits,
194
including
credits.
voiceovers, and there'll probably be a couple of documentaries in there.
So say 150 film
But
roles.
at least probably
That
150
is-
film
what a-
roles.
what
Yeah.
a start.
And loads of westerns, loads of
Wow.
adventure films.
Yeah.
So yeah, but a good
Wow.
run. That's a pretty good run. I reckon we
Yeah.
must have got 4 each there
I reckon so, yeah. And
after the damp squib of the Lee Marvin episode.
Yeah, but I think Heston's a little bit more accessible, isn't he? Because you
More
can
variety.
think of, you can, there's many a Sunday afternoon you've been watching the Ten Commandments or something
Yeah.
along that. So, it's Charlton Heston again.
Yeah.
You've only got to think, something like Robes and that, and all
Yeah,
of
and
a
he's
sudden
there.
it's Charlton Heston. He wasn't in that, was he? He wasn't in the Robe, was he? He might have well
very
have
possibly.
Who knows? Yeah, but yeah, so that was good. So I suppose. Are we thinking pairing up now, or have you got more
Yeah,
games
let's-
up your sleeve?
No, I've not got any more games for this one. So let's have a look at pairings, shall we?
Yeah,
So obviously, the obvious are Indiana Jones.
yeah, all of them.
All of them. I got Journey to the Centre of the Earth.
Yeah, I picked that because it's got that. I mean, which one? The James Mason one.
Yes.
I love that film.
Yeah.
That's great. Apart from the singing, I don't know. Why. But there you go.
I've got the Omega Man just because I think the characters
Yeah.
have their parallels there. The sort of loner characters.
Or
Obviously
even
by-
Soylent Green, when you think
Yeah.
about him being a sort of a sort of a soul agent.
Yeah, that's it. I've got Ice Station Zebra or
Have
Ice
you?
Station Zebra, as you call it in the States.
That's a good one.
Okay,
that
again,
is. Rock Hudson, isn't it?
that's a bit. It's men on a mission, but it's more of an adventure film, I think.
Brilliant film. I love that film, and that's in fact, I just read the book as well. Great book, Alistair MacLean. Well worth a read. Bit different, but
And the last one is is purely on the tone of the film,
oh yeah,
and I didn't realise, and I sort of had to remind myself that this came so early, Secret of the Incas, and I put
Yeah.
Goldfinger
Ooh.
because I think the vibe of this film is very, very early Bond.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, interesting.
Not just
yeah.
the look,
Yeah, no,
but,
that's a
but
very
you know the
interesting
sort of
comparison.
tongue in cheek relationship with the sort
yeah,
of
yeah.
women that enter his life randomly.
Yeah.
The
Oh, that's true.
the
actually.
loner.
Yeah, so the character is almost being created.
It's almost like a proto or like
Sort
a
of Fleming-esque.
proto-American Bond,
Yeah,
right?
do you know, that's a very interesting observation because I can see that now. You say that.
And also with the Technicolor obviously helps.
Imagine-
It looks like a Bond
Imagine
movie.
Heston as Bond.
Yeah, but you can see up the first half of this film.
Yeah.
You can see that as a Bond film, can't you?
So it's kind of he goes to the hotel and he's ordering the martinis
Yeah, that's
and,
it.
and he's sort of like getting people to like him and he's sort
Yeah.
of checking out the competition.
Yeah.
And then it goes into full-on adventure mode. So
Yeah.
he finds the baddies
at which point,
Yeah, yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
I get
the
it.
Bond film would go
Very-
off.
yeah.
Well, what would happen in the Bond film is the other archaeologist would be actually
Yeah.
evil,
Yeah, exactly.
whereas this obviously
What,
goes
like
off in its
Dr.
own
Evil?
direction. But
No,
but
you're
yeah.
right. And they'd be all on an island somewhere with a big
Yeah.
rocket or a big sunburst
it.
in the middle of it.
Yeah.
But no, that's genius. Yeah, I take my hat off to you there, as would Charlton, were he here. Okay, so I've got a few pretty obvious ones because I must admit I was trying to think outside the box. Some I've already mentioned. It had an element. And as I've said before, what I tend to do is I write these down when I'm watching a film.
Yeah, that's
and
the
what
way
does
to
it
do it.
make? What does it remind me of? What does it make me want to watch?
because
and what
even
does it make me
sometimes you
feel?
see, like a bit like with the Bond thing, you see a scene
and you think,
and you're like, I've got to write that down because you forget it
right,
otherwise.
well, that's where Wages of Fear.
Yeah.
The first bit where
The
all
town.
the sort of sweaty, dusty, everybody's
And he-
unpleasant,
Yeah,
and they're building
and it pans
up.
across the town, doesn't it? As he,
and it's a
as he walks
real
to the
den of
airport.
iniquity, isn't
Yeah.
it? The first one, the first
Yes,
one,
yeah,
in
yeah.
the black and white format, even though, this isn't. So, yeah, Wages of Fear. I've got Journey to the Centre of the Earth as well, strangely.
Mm-hmm.
The Mummy.
Yeah.
In any of its guys, it's because it's a treasure hunt in off you go and find the mummy sort of thing, and there's
Yeah, I
some
like that.
penalties to pay. Treasure of the Sierra Madre, 1948, so even earlier than this.
Yeah,
But it had.
But I tell you what, that looks again, because of this looks so new, that looks so much older, doesn't it?
Doesn't it? It looks worn out, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And I wondered if they'd have tinted it and made it in colour, it would give it a but it kind
Yeah,
of,
so what year,
the
what year
romance,
was,
48.
so that was 48. What year was the African Queen?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know.
This is not long after, and that
51
again with the colour palette makes it look. I think the Treasure of the Sierra Madre, some of the sets as well. You're still you're in that transition period between location shooting and still using backlots.
Yeah, and then it's an interesting story as well with the sort of the Western stroke treasure thing going on. But that's another one it made me think of. Indies we've done. 1975, The Man Who Would Be King, Connery and Kane.
Yeah,
good film. In search of being a king as opposed to looking for treasure, but the whole adventure going to a foreign land and getting in with the local guys, and then it all goes a bit wrong, and there's deceit, and and plus I just want to throw it in there because I like that film so much. I want to watch it again and remind people what a great film it is.
Really good movie.
And I think that might be everything that I've written down. I did briefly and then put a line through it. I don't know why, but in terms of the treasure seeking thing, I put Time Bandits 1981. But I thought
it's a riff off what this started with, the adventure thing.
Yeah.
Definitely, but there's so much fluidity with what you can combine with this.
Yeah, you're right. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I do love an adventure film, especially if there's treasure and jungles and going digging up stuff. Yeah. That's a magical recipe for a properly good adventure story that captivates you.
It's
and if you want to go to the movies, or if you want to lose yourself in a story, I found myself just losing myself in the whole plot, thinking, where are we going?
And this is watching it from a modern eye. Yeah. Imagine going to see this in 1954
on the big screen.
The places like this would have been mere pictures in books for most people, if that.
And to see the indigenous people doing their dances and singing the songs, it must have been absolutely spectacular.
And in gorgeous colour as well.
Oh, astonishing. You would have come out totally sold. Might have influenced some people to take on a career in,
every chance.
Various studies of cultures and history and archaeology, because it was so, looks so influential.
It is irresistibly good to look at. But if you take anything away, don't necessarily watch it. By all means do if it sounds like your thing. But just watch a trailer and just see how good it looks, just so you can understand what we're talking about. Because we're not overselling the look of the movie.
No, it's well filmed, beautifully put together. Beautiful colours.
Yeah, it's just the colours and the look is great.
Properly entertaining. It's what a movie, certainly of that era, should look like. Yeah,
it's a golden era, isn't it?
Exactly. And it ticks every box in that respect. Yeah, exactly. So it's a very good film. So are we still scoring these? We are, aren't we?
Yeah, we're still scoring. So where did you fall on it? Because you've like you've alluded to, you like this one.
I did. Yeah. The danger is comparing it to modern versions.
Yeah.
So is it better than indie? If it was on the telly, the two were on. One was on one channel, one was on the other. The fact you've seen indie and the like so many times, but it feels like an old pair of slippers, and it's comfortable, and you put it on, and you like the lines and blah blah. So yeah, I've pitched this. I initially had it as a 6, but I've elevated it to a 7. Because I really quite like it. And I like the originality of it. When I thought back, I thought, well, this is the granddaddy of this stuff.
Yeah, so that's true.
I would score indie highly, but I would score this because it deserves its status as the origin. Absolutely. So I'm going 7.
Well, I went with a 3 out of 5, obviously a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're right, mate. That you could probably stick another half on that as just to elevate it as such a flag bearer for the genre. Yeah, and the influence it had on what would.
And for 1954, a very good attempt at taking you on an adventure to Peru.
Yeah, a really impressive effort
to do as well. I should think to make it look convincing in that day and age.
Absolutely, and what it does, which a lot of movies of that era do so well, and will continue to do for 20 years, is it captures a part of history on film, which
Yes.
is what location
Which is now
shooting
gone,
does so
isn't it?
well.
That's gone.
And that's what location shooting is that's why it's so special in some cases. Because even just, and we've spoken about it before, even just a cityscape, within 5 years it looks so different.
Well, that's what I love watching about old 50s movies of London and places like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you see a panorama that has
Frenzy.
never to be... Frenzy, brilliant. You'll never repeat.
No.
You'll never see that
and that's
market,
it. And
that
once
street.
it's gone, it's gone.
Gone forever, yeah.
Obviously, in the 50s, camera technology isn't what it is now. So not everyone had pictures of these places. This is a shot on a camera that, with modern upscaling techniques, looks as good as an HD camera you could buy now.
But it looks real. You know they're there because of the year,
and that's why it's so good.
Believable.
That's why it's so good.
You'd like to think there's not a sort of a studio somewhere in Pinewood with a load of tropical plants.
Yeah, that's it.
Where they filmed.
They duped us all. They were never there.
Yeah, spray some more water on them. So it looks hot. So you got to wonder. But good fun. Enjoyed it. Terrific jungle adventure movie.
Yeah, but
the Tarzan stuff.
Yeah, it is very Tarzan.
Yeah.
Did Heston play Tarzan? He must have done.
He's done everything, hasn't he? He might well have done at some point. Honestly,
I bet he did. Maybe on telly.
Yeah, well, he should have done. Put it that way. Yeah.
But yeah, good movie. If you do like adventure films and like Indiana Jones, you owe it to yourself to go and see this as the origin, because within 2 minutes you'll point at Heston on the screen and go, "That's Indiana Jones."
Yeah, exactly. It's uncanny, and you're right. And any adventure fan should go and look it up just to complete the set.
And we both watched this on YouTube.
We did.
We're in a stunning print.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse.
I feared the worst actually on the YouTube version. I thought it'd be blurry, it won't look good, but it's like it's not super crisp, so it doesn't look. It hasn't got that Unreal quality. It's just got a beautiful clarity, but it does look right.
It does look really good, and it's not. But I say it's not a paid for YouTube one. It's just uploaded by somebody who's
whole movie
upgraded it themselves or whatever they've done. But it looks really good.
Totally.
So I'd thoroughly recommend it.
Yep.
Just on that basis, and it's one of the more interesting films we've done in terms of where it comes from as a perspective, because it doesn't fall into our usual criteria.
No.
I would say it's sort of
it?
accessible for ages like 8 to 80.
Yeah.
There's something there for everyone.
There really is.
You can take what you want out of it depending on what you're looking for.
Everybody likes an adventure. Well, most people do, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a good story, well told.
Absolutely. There you go. I think that concludes this one. And we will be back next week with another episode.
Excellent. See you then.
Until then.
Cheerio.